Hello, my name is DAJ Studios and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about why I think that the marketing for Doctor Who failed the show. And I'm not talking about the show itself, I'm not talking about the episodes themselves, whether the content in those episodes were good, because that is an argument I don't want to get into. But I want to talk about the marketing alone, the trailers, the social media influence. I'm finally putting my media A-level to good use. I haven't actually got it yet, but I'll put it at the bottom of the screen if I did. The reason that I want to make this video is because a while ago we had to do advertising for various items, and one of the items that I chose was Doctor Who, and I chose Series 12's advertising, and it's kind of branched off from there, and I thought at some point I would talk about it, and I completely forgot about it, but the idea of it came back into my head again recently when I realised that my exam results were like days away. My first point is I feel like Doctor Who should really be on prime time Saturday night. It basically has been my entire childhood until Series 11 and Series 12. Like, a lot of people have said, but it's better for views if it's on a Sunday because more people watch stuff on a Sunday. Yes, but they don't normally watch it while they're having their tea. The thing is, I always feel like, I'm sure many people do as well, that if you're having your tea, it's kind of a bit of a rush to get everything ready before Doctor Who. You know, there tends to be maybe like 10 minutes in between, there isn't much time before Doctor Who starts. And I think that for me that works, but I realise that I have my tea a lot earlier than a lot of other people do, so it's not really the best time. Primetime Sunday is like 8 and 9 o'clock. 8, 9 and 10, like that's when they put like the Downton Abbeys and all of that, the Poldark on, right? 7 o'clock is not primetime Sunday. Do you know what it is primetime of? Saturday. It's primetime Saturday, 7 o'clock. Because that's when everyone's finished and they're watching Total Wipeout. I don't know what you probably want. Because Saturday nights are full of telly. You've got things such as the X Factor, Total Wipeout. I'm really struggling because there's hardly anything on at the minute. So I believe that the day of the week actually did harm it a bit. You know, I think that on a Saturday you're going to get these casual viewers, you know, people that just leave it on or get intrigued by the opening so they continue watching. That kind of, oh, Doctor Who's on at a time that suits me and I'm bored, so I'm just going to watch it. You know, that kind of group of people, that niche market, don't watch Doctor Who on a Sunday because on a Sunday they are still at the table. They're not casually watching the TV at 7 o'clock. Well, I'm definitely not anyway. This next one annoyed me a lot during the run. This idea that you don't want to miss the next episode. They did this after Spyfall, after the destruction of Gallifrey, which is supposed to be this big thing, even though we've seen it quite a few times, but it is still this big event. And they say you don't want to miss next week. Next week's going to be big, it's going to be huge, you don't want to miss it. Do you know what it is? Orphan 55. That's all it was. An episode that a lot of people have deemed the weakest of the series, but maybe they knew this at the time, and it was the marketing, the cleverness to try and get people to watch it by saying, because I reckon that some of my friends did this. I reckon that some of my friends went into watching the next episode of Doctor Who, in episode 3, on time, on that Sunday, because I told them that this week's going to be big, and it wasn't. It was just Orphan 55. Actually, just a bit of a side note, I've been watching like Series 12 a lot more outside of its original airing. You know, I used to watch it like twice during the week, but once that was over I didn't really watch it again, and now that the run is fully over, we have the whole series. I watched a couple and I think that they're a lot better now that they're outside of the marketing loop. Why are they better? Because they're not surrounded with the social media, the Twitter account saying that you don't want to miss this week, because that brings up those expectations. Those expectations goes up, and then they're massively disappointed when you get an episode like Orphan 55. I understand that a lot of people do like Orphan 55, but I'm talking about the vast majority here of people that don't like it. Okay, so a show like The Walking Dead has 16 episodes in a season, and it's split up like over the Christmas period as well. So they're quite clever with how they do their marketing, and they say things such as only 3 weeks to the Walking Dead mid-season finale, only 3 weeks to the Walking Dead finale. Those kind of things don't necessarily mean that something is going to happen. Normally, you know, it does, because they're quite clever with how they write it. You know, like your mid-season's going to have something big happen at the end and that kind of stuff. But to keep you, you know, hanging on for those remaining 3 episodes that might be awful, might just be setting up the finale, then the way that they keep you going is saying only 3 left to the finale, and do you know what? Doctor Who tried that tactic this year, and I don't think it worked. But Doctor Who works on an episodic basis, right? It works because each episode is different from the previous episode. Well, unless you have a two-parter. But because each episode is different, there is no, like, 2 weeks to the finale. It's like you have an episode called Praxis. You know, Praxis, if you're building up a big Cybermen finale, then who cares about Praxis? I didn't care so much about the episode, I forgot what episode it was. It was Can You Hear Me? The show ran for 9 weeks because the whole, like, New Year's and then the Sunday, which meant that you do get a trailer every 3 to 4 weeks. And actually, scrapping that, they're actually really close together. They're only like 2 weeks apart. So you had 2 trailers telling you about the finale in the middle of the series. It's almost as if the focus was not on the episode coming out next week, but the focus was on the episode coming out in like 3 weeks' time, which would be, you know, Timeless Child, all of that kind of stuff. And they had trailers and everything, and they would appear on the BBC, on the website, and, you know, like they'd appear on TV. But I think that overall, nobody was thinking, oh god, I can't wait for Can You Hear Me? No, have you seen those Cybermen? They look awesome. And then one of the weirdest things that they did in their marketing was on the 12th of December, about a month before the series started, they started advertising the Blu-ray and the DVD, which was a strange decision to make, without any covers or anything, which was weird. So it kind of worked as like we're advertising the series but also advertising the DVD, which for a series that no one's seen yet. So they had Judoon walking around, and that's a good thing to do. If you're going to advertise something and you've got something iconic like the Judoon, then you have them walk around and, you know, not talk to people. So here it is on my phone. Weird decision, I would say, to advertise your DVD before the series is out. But I have a lot of people asking them whether they're hyped yet, whether they're excited for Doctor Who, and I think a lot of Series 12 tried to do this kind of like, are you excited? Do you feel excited? Get more excited. But didn't think, hang on, we've risen everyone's expectations, but can it actually deliver? Well, their hope would be yes, but if it was something that you found underwhelming, such as they didn't really explain things such as the Roof Doctor, which they probably... Well, I understand why they didn't, but, you know, a lot of the material for that coming soon was like, who is the Roof Doctor kind of stuff, and that mystery is there. Like, you have an episode like Fugitive, which is like full on 100%, and then you have episodes like Praxis, so that kind of, are you hyped yet, doesn't really work with Doctor Who, because you can be excited, but you're not excited for the next episode, you're excited for the series as a whole. I'll try and do it in a different way. So imagine Series 3 is your run-of-the-mill episode of Doctor Who. You've got cool monsters, the Doctor, you know, fights the Master, the end. Now, once you hear that this episode contains one of the most climactic endings to an episode, to a series of Doctor Who, one that has entire teams and childhood nostalgia come back, tons of surprises and shocks and tons of danger, would you still want to watch the previous episode that's just quite run-of-the-mill? And that's why I think the marketing really didn't serve Doctor Who very well. They did make some good decisions, but at the same time they made some really terrible and strange ones, and I don't think that helped Doctor Who. Not in terms of the ratings, I'm not saying that the ratings would have improved otherwise, but I think that overall I would have felt better about the series if I wasn't told, guys, you're gonna love the finale, it's big, it's epic, because then I have weeks for my brain to pick up lots of ideas of what I hope will happen. You know, I had ideas about, we would learn about the Roof Doctor as Jack turns up towards the end and, you know, helps the Doctor fight the Master and armies of Cybermen as they walk down the street into Gallifrey. I imagined so much, but what we got was not what I had in my head, so my expectations versus the reality would have, you know, brought it all down. Like, I quite like Series 12, to be honest, but you can kind of understand what I mean. So thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you give a like, subscribe if you want, and hopefully you were able to comprehend something that I said. That'd be lovely if you did. And I shall see you soon.